Greetings and welcome to News Live on Lntv. I'm Julius Canton presenting. In our top stories, we're following Vice President Joe Howard Taylor calls on members of the Liberian Senate to address issues that weren't attended to in 2018. General Auditing Commission to audit all government ministries and agencies to ensure accountability and performance, says Senate Pro Tem Albert Chie. Mother of a 17-year-old boy calls on humanitarian organization to assist her son in order to save his life as he's suffering from a deadly heart condition. Details for these and much more developments are coming up in a jiffy, so please be there. Many thanks for rejoining us. We'll bring you our first development. Vice President Joe Howard Taylor is urging members of the Liberian Senate to address issues that were not attended to in 2018. Speaking at the commencement of the second sitting of the Liberian Senate, VP Taylor, who is also the President Pro Tem, stated that the Liberian Senate needs to address issues to ensure that public have a confidence in them.
I want to acknowledge with satisfaction the significant progress recorded in the first year of this administration, notably in the areas of road connectivity, healthcare delivery, education, and electricity. These milestone achievements serve as a beacon of hope, signifying the commitment and determination of our government to improving the living standards of all. We should also note that there were some challenges attending our first year, with concerns being raised in some quarters of our society about alleged missing funds, claims and counterclaims of corruption and bribery, bank liquidity, perceptions of disrespect and mistrust amongst functionaries of government, and issues of the alarming rate of sexual and gender-based violence. Also noteworthy is a bill of impeachment presented to this august body at the House of Representatives for adjudication during this period. This is a critical issue which has attracted the attention of a broad spectrum of our society and the international community. Let us therefore be reminded that the manner and form of its disposition by the Liberian Senate will forever be recorded in the annals of our legislative, judiciary, and political history of our nation. I trust that justice will be served in consonance with our organic laws.
Well, meanwhile, Senate Pro Tem Albert Chie says the Liberian Senate is working effectively with the General Auditing Commission to, among other things, ensure that all government ministries and agencies are audited to look at their performances over the period.
The Senate will strive to strengthen its oversight responsibilities over the various government agencies through its various committees. Last year, many committees realized to give the heads of these agencies who were new at the job time to set up shop. It is our belief that most of these agency heads have had enough time to adjust to carry out the people's business. The Senate committees will vigorously evaluate the performance of these agencies. Furthermore, per the Act establishing the General Auditing Commission, which mandates the agency to conduct annual audits at various government institutions, we plan to request the GAC to conduct audits of all government agencies for the first year of this government, 2018, and to endeavor to do that yearly as the law dictates and report to the legislature as required by law. The audits will confirm the existence of internal controls within these various agencies, the effectiveness of these controls, and to ensure that our various agencies perform well in accordance with their statutory mandates and remain accountable to the people.
President George Weah has vetoed an act intended to create a district called Zayman District in Lofa County. Major Sion is the chief clerk of the House of Representatives. She read the communication on behalf of President Weah in Tuesday's section.
It is incumbent upon us as leaders to educate our people and help them understand the underlying factors associated with some of their demands. While we are not against the creation of new districts, we believe there should be matching financial resources when districts are created to pay workers who provide services. The creation of a new district also means that the resources for the services delivery will be diverted and resources of the parent district will be split and shared out. 3. I believe the framework of our Constitution did not empower the legislature in Article 34A to create new counties and other political subdivisions and readjust existing county boundaries based upon decisions at political rallies or through negotiations between a few powerful individuals within a county or just for the flow of parliament. As a mass, that they intended for districts to be created based on the necessity for effective administration and the need to bring services closer to the people.
The National Youth Movement for Transparent Election has released a report in the country, especially looking at members of the 54th National Legislature first sitting. The report, codenamed Legislative Action Transparency Project Report, among other things, seeks to track performances of campaign promises made to the people by lawmakers in order to hold them accountable. Eddie Jawolo is the Executive Director of NEMO.
If you look at our recommendation, we said that that's one of the more complicated issues because we don't know where the money coming from. That's the lawmaker who says he spent $75,000 in a very remote district for a road connection. I don't know how in 1 year time a lawmaker will be able to get $75,000 how to do that. So we were not really looking at where the money came from, but then when we start making our report, if you check our recommendation, we say to have a distinction between lawmaker actual financial support, then support our place in the budget for county social development fund that you want to take credit for. So we clean out that, but we're mostly focusing on what are those promises that you say you're going to do, any action been taken. So rated 4, like the president. So rated completed, it means that been done, completed, and what you can verify. Ongoing, it means that's some action. Action, because if you say you provide scholarship, you launch a $3.5 million scholarship, like $1, which most of the lawmakers did. That's an action. If you say you will contribute to student days and you get like 4 or 5% on scholarship, that's an action. So we capture that ongoing.
That's the Executive Director of NEMO, Eddie Jawolo. We're on the report about 97 promises, that's campaign promises, were tracked, and out of that, 10% were so far completed according to the report, while 68% are said to be ongoing. Let's now bring you Eddie Jawolo reading the update.
Yeah, more than a lot of promises. I mean, giving you a good report, but you need to know exactly what it is that he promised here or he promised to do. Okay. So, in terms of completed, out of the 97, 10% completed. 13% not rated, it means that there's no information available on the 13%. 9% not started, it means that 9% of the promises are not just started. And 68% of the promises are ongoing. So for us, I think for the first year, it's good starting. So if we want to go to individual lawmaker, I could just run through it. Yeah, sure. So we divide it into counties. So in one county, we have represented member business or the electoral district number 6. She made 12 promises. She made a high promises among all the lawmakers. Of the 12 promises, 4 promises rated completed. 6 are ongoing. 2 not started. For Representative Robert Womley of electoral district number 4, he made 11 promises, none completed. 7 ongoing. 3 not started. 1 not rated.
Assistant Finance Minister for Planning, Benedict Colbert, says the proposed agenda, among other things, seeks to address loopholes in a country developmental drive. Speaking at a very long national stakeholders consultation workshop on child's rights, Minister Kolubal said PATPD will promote sustained livelihood for the people of Liberia.
The Pro agenda is the vision of the government that is driven on one contract foundation. And that contract foundation is that Liberia is a rich country. Liberia has the human resources, but the contrast to that, both natural resources and human resources, the contrast to that is that Liberia is severely underdeveloped. Largely because the resources that we have, we're not being able to translate that into wealth for our people. So we can't be able to lift our people out of poverty because we have a leader who went through it and who was a poor man who took battles from the streets, and today he is a rich man and he is the president for the country.
Well, for her part, Plain Liberia Country Director Evelyn Mohead said her organization is working on a strategy to impact girls across Liberia.
As an organization, we have a new global strategy which focuses on 100 million girls to support them to learn, to lead, to decide and to thrive. So as a country office, we're looking at our country strategy, so our localized strategy about how we support girls in this country to learn, lead, decide and thrive. Much of that work needs to be done with other partners, specifically the government with their pro-poor agenda and other INGOs, the UN and civil society. We are but one organization, we are ambitious and we are driven, but we need to work with our partners to achieve this.
A mother of a 17-year-old ailing boy, Priscilla Donokolo, is calling for urgent medical attention abroad to save the life of her son. Currently, he is suffering from a heart problem. Priscilla has been explaining more to this station.
Now, for 2-3 doctors from BNC to JFK, when he was small, they told me that the heart valve is not close. They needed the operation to be done abroad. But believing in God, I don't have money as a single parent. I myself, as you can see me, going to school, I don't have money. So I've been carrying the condition, but these few days from November to December, he started to get swelling up. The whole heart thing big, his stomach big, even when he feel big, all his face swell up. And when I went back, the doctor told me that the same thing like the other doctor told you before, the child had need to be operated abroad. So they told me the heart is, because of the heart being congested, the liver is getting bigger because the liver is supposed to supply the heart. Everything are like working over time. So the operation will be done abroad. When she prescribed some medication, the internist to JFK. When she prescribed some drugs yesterday, when I introduced the drugs to him, my brother, you know, like, so almost dying with him.
So tell us what normally happened to him on a daily basis.
He having shut down a breath. When he walk, a breath won't cut off. Last time he keep running, my breath won't cut off. My breath won't cut off. And I had to do what I able to do to get him before I can get him to hospital.
That's Priscilla Donokolo, is the mother of a 17-year-old boy who's suffering from a heart disease, calling on philanthropist individuals to help her save the life of her son. Bringing us to the bridge of this midweek edition of News Live on Lntv. If you just joined us, this is where we bring you the latest information in Liberia and other parts of our warm world. And stay ahead of us, newly elected representative of District 13 Lofa County, Edward Papi Flomo, has been sworn into office. We'll bring you that story from a report from Capitol Hill, including suspected militants have attacked a luxurious hotel complex in Nairobi. We'll bring you those two developments plus much more right after this break, so please be there. Many thanks for rejoining us. The Sustainable Development Institute Tuesday launched a roundtable on sustainable palm oil project In Liberia, the SDR coordinator Nora Buya gives an overview of the project.
As you may be aware, SDR has been working since 2002, on a range of governance issues in the natural resource sector, and one of our primary focuses has been on land rights and the associated conflict issues arising from land management. And in 2012, we introduced our community rights and corporate governance program and began to support communities to defend their land rights with the central aim to promote inclusive and equitable development in Liberia by championing respect and the protection of community rights, and also challenging corporate and government actions affecting those rights.
Well, let's now bring you this particular development where the project's key launcher, the National Bureau of Concessions Executive Director Gregory Coleman, highlights his entity's commitment towards the principles of the RSPO.
While we promote the ethical consideration to respect for human rights and to show the supply chain being very, very clean, free of human rights violation, we also would like to see more effort in the direction that will give more value to sweat equity of farmers who will be involved in similar initiatives. And in areas where the RSPO principles prohibit the expansion, we will be able to work together to find smart and sustainable ways that even the community dwellers will respect and help to preserve the forest in their areas. But in the event where there are no sustainable means, even without the expansion or the concessions, people will definitely go in and violate the forest, and what we all hope to achieve together will yet still be at a loss.
For his part, the RSPO Technical Manager for Africa, Elfink Abato, cautioned concession companies operating in Liberia to always resolve conflicts in the country whenever they arise, instead of allowing it to spread to the international level.
I was here last year, around this same time, crisscrossing the country from Grand Cliff Mount, then I went to visit Jazz in Grand Bassam, then to Maryland and to Grand Cru in 8 days. Right. So crisscross at least the all-farm belt in 8 days. It was a difficult thing to do, but I had to do it in order to get a better feel and a better understanding of what the issues were. Apart from the visit to these places, I also met with key stakeholders. I met with the all-farm technical working group. I met also with individual organizations separately to try and understand what the issues in Liberia really are and what we could do to help resolve these issues.
Lofa County District 13 representative has finally been sworn into office, Edward Papi Flomo. For more on this development, let's join our legislative reporter, Cecilia Clark.
Legislature. My name is Edward Papi Flomo Jr., CKA, the most powerful corner.
Dressed in a green coat, green shirt and tie, and a green pair of shoes, depicting his nickname Color Green, the newly elected Lofa County District 13 representative Edward Papi Flomo entered the chambers during the second day sitting of the second session of the 54th legislature Tuesday. Upon entering the chambers, House Speaker Buffer Chambers administered the oath of office to the lawmaker.
I do solemnly swear that I will support, uphold, protect and defend the Constitution and laws of the Republic of Liberia, bear true faith and allegiance
functions of the office of representative.
Many thanks to Cecilia Clark for that report. Ended there by the Speaker of the 54th National Legislature, sworn in District number 13, Representative Edward Papi Flomo. Today's one, the Environmental Protection Agency says it has embarked on a massive plan to help relieve the country's environment report, which has been lacking for over 5 years, but it is part of its legal requirements. Let's now bring you Nathaniel Blaman speaking about this issue plus their community engagements.
So the Constitution also provides that Liberians should be partaker of the management of their natural resources. Under that same constitutional right, the mandate is given to the EPA to ensure that if the people should be partaker of the management of their natural resources, how? Through our ESIA process, we do that. We do community engagement, community consultation for every project that is about to be undertaken in this country. So that's how we reach out to the people and get their consent on future projects. As we speak, we have environmental units set up in all government institutions across Monrovia, at the headquarters in Monrovia. We have environmental units set up in all government institutions, and we coordinate environmental activities with them. As we speak, we have inspectors deployed in 10 counties and have oversight over all of the 15 counties. But again, because of low logistics, we can't be everywhere.
The Mother Esther Ajayi Foundation, based in Nigeria, has donated $25,000 and 3 buses to the disabled community in Liberia. Let's now bring you the head of that foundation, firstly commending Vice President Joy Howard Taylor for her receptiveness since entering into the country.
Don't wait until when you become a billionaire before you start giving. I always say this, that neighbor, you have got water. There's cassava with you, share it. Yes. If you are not honest in little thing, you can't be in charge of great things. Your behavior, when you don't have billions, it's something of the blood. That is character. You can't just start it. So when you start it little by little, nobody can do it for us. It's only Africans that can help Africans. Yes. We are the ones that know where the shoe is paying us most. Yes. Because we are the ones that, and what our excellency believe in, going to the grassroots. Yes. Yes. Those youth, those able people, I call them able people. If you were there when they were delivering their speeches, the 3 places that I was not pitying them. I was moved. That was why I was shedding those tears.
Well, in response and receiving the items, Vice President Joy Howard Taylor lauded the efforts of the Nigerian philanthropists and clergy, and at the same time said it is important to help build the lives of the disabled community in Liberia.
Left with those who are really truly disabled, and if you go and visit the Antoinette Todman Cheshire home, Mommy and I visited there, she was in tears. There are children there who can't do anything for themselves. And I think those are the people the program should actually cater to. But over time, because of the war and the effect of the war, many people lost their arms, lost their legs. The number of disabled people became many, so you couldn't choose one segment and leave the other. So the program is supposed to cover all these segments and provide a livelihood for them. So as we visited a few of the agencies, Mother Ajayi and the Ajayi Foundation, Humanitarian Foundation, made some pledges. Those pledges have been fulfilled. And you know, the reason why we are calling the press conference is so that people know that people can come to Liberia and not want to exploit and want to help. The Esther Ajayi Foundation has provided 3 buses, personal donations, Crusaders for Peace will be one of those who will receive their funding tomorrow. But she knows very well that the needs of our people are many, but the Bible says it's not equal sacrifice. I mean, it's not equal giving, it's equal sacrifice. She's come and she's made a huge sacrifice to our country and to our people. And we didn't want her to just come and go like that.
That's Vice President Joy Howard Taylor speaking when she received a gesture from the Mother Esther Ajayi Foundation to help change the living condition of the disabled community in Liberia. $25,000, including buses, were donated to the disabled community. And off the home front now, suspected militants have attacked a luxurious hotel complex in Nairobi, with several people reported killed. Gunfire and blasts were heard at the compound in the Westland district of the Kenyan capital, which houses the Dustin D2 Hotel as well as offices. The Somali-based militant group Al-Shabaab said it was behind the attack but gave no details. People, some with bullet wounds and covered in blood, were escorted out of the building by heavily armed people. With that foreign development, we come to the end of News Live on this midweek edition of the program. But before going, a reminder of a few of our top stories. Vice President Joy Howard Taylor calls on members of the Liberian Senate to address issues by wearing the dress during their first sitting at the 54th National Legislature, mainly in 2018. General Auditing Commission to audit all government ministries and agencies to ensure accountability and performance, says Senate Pro Tem Albert G. A mother of a 17-year-old boy calls on humanitarians to help save the life of her ailing son, who is suffering from a heart condition. And away from Liberia, suspected militants have attacked a luxurious hotel complex in Nairobi, with several people reported killed, as International Criminal Court acquits ex-avoiding President Lauren Gbagbo. Many thanks for watching. The invitation is yours to join this station later on for more news on national television. Until that time, I'm Julius Conton. Good morning.